In the intricate tapestry of our urban landscapes, countless lives unfold around us, often unnoticed. We walk through parks, drive down streets, and share our space with creatures whose inner worlds remain largely a mystery. But what if one of these common companions held a secret so profound it could fundamentally alter our understanding of animal intelligence? What if a bird, seemingly ordinary, possessed a memory for human faces so acute, it could recall yours for years, even decades? Meet the crow, a ubiquitous resident of nearly every continent, often dismissed as a mere scavenger or a noisy nuisance. Yet, beneath their iridescent black feathers and keen, watchful eyes lies a mind far more complex than most realize. Corvids, the family that includes crows, ravens, and jays, are celebrated for their problem-solving skills, their use of tools, and their intricate social structures. But it is their uncanny ability to recognize and remember human faces that truly sets them apart. For generations, humans have believed that animals, especially birds, primarily react to broad categories: human, dog, predator. But groundbreaking research has shattered this assumption. Crows don't just distinguish between a human and another animal, they differentiate between individual humans. They remember your face, specifically, and they associate it with particular experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. This isn't a simple reflex, it's a sophisticated act of individual recognition, suggesting a level of cognitive processing previously attributed to only a select few species. The most compelling evidence for this phenomenon emerged from the University of Washington. Researchers embarked on a series of experiments designed to test crows' facial recognition abilities under controlled conditions. The setup was ingenious, yet simple. They needed to create a memorable, distinct experience, both positive and negative, and link it to specific human faces. This would allow them to observe if crows could indeed form lasting memories of human identities. In these pivotal experiments, researchers donned a distinctive mask often described as a caveman face when they captured and banded wild crows. This initial encounter was, understandably, a stressful event for the birds. It involved being netted, handled, and marked. The key was that this unpleasant experience was consistently associated with that particular caveman mask. The scientists wanted to see if the crows would imprint this negative memory onto the visual signature of that specific mask, forming a lasting association. Crucially, a different group of researchers wore a neutral mask, perhaps a plain, featureless face or a historical figure like Dick Cheney, when they were simply walking around the study site, not interacting with the crows in any significant way. This was to establish a baseline. The crows had no particular reason to fear or appreciate this neutral face. It was simply part of the background, an observer without direct involvement in any stressful events. The contrast between these two masks proved essential for the study's findings. The results were immediate and striking. Whenever researchers wearing the caveman mask reappeared in the area, even hours later, the crows would react with alarm. They would emit harsh, scolding calls, mobbing the individual, dive-bombing them, and generally expressing overt aggression. This behavior was not directed at anyone without a mask, or at individuals wearing the neutral mask. It was a precise, targeted response, clearly linked to the specific visual cue of the dangerous face, demonstrating an immediate, learned aversion. What truly astonished the scientific community was the longevity of this memory. Years later, individuals wearing the caveman mask would still elicit the same furious response from the crows in the study area. This wasn't a short-term memory, fading with the seasons. It was a deeply ingrained, persistent recognition. One particular study reported observation of this behavior over 5 years. Imagine carrying a grudge, not for months, but for half a decade, against a specific face you encountered only briefly. It fundamentally reshapes our understanding of bird cognition. The memory wasn't confined to the immediate location of the initial encounter either. Crows recognized the dangerous mask even when the wearer appeared miles away from the original capture site. This indicates that the recognition is truly about the face itself, detached from geographical context. It's not merely a territorial defense triggered by any human presence, it's a specific individual threat identified and acted upon, regardless of whether that individual is on their turf or merely passing through an adjacent neighborhood. Perhaps the most astounding discovery was that crows didn't just remember faces individually, they communicated this vital information to other crows. A crow that had never encountered the caveman mask directly would still join in the mobbing if an older, experienced crow initiated the alarm. This suggests a form of social learning, where knowledge about dangerous individuals is shared and propagated throughout the flock. Imagine a warning system, passed from one bird to another, protecting the entire community. Even more incredibly, this knowledge appears to be passed down through generations. Young crows, born years after the initial capture event and never personally handled by the caveman masked researchers, would nonetheless react with aggression to the sight of that mask. This suggests a cultural transmission of information, a form of oral tradition, perhaps, where learned behaviors and memories are instilled in offspring. The grudges, it seems, can literally be inherited, becoming part of the collective memory of the crow community. How do they do it? The secret lies in their remarkable brains. While small, a crow's brain boasts a brain-to-body ratio comparable to that of primates, indicating a high level of neurological complexity. Their forebrain, particularly the nidopallium and hyperpallium, is exceptionally developed. These areas are involved in higher cognitive functions such as perception, attention, decision-making, and learning. This sophisticated neural architecture provides the biological basis for their impressive memory and problem-solving abilities. Their facial recognition is just one facet of their profound intelligence. Crows are known for using tools, such as bending wire to retrieve food, or dropping nuts onto busy roads for cars to crack them open. They can solve multi-step puzzles to get rewards, demonstrating foresight and planning. They even appear to understand abstract concepts, like causality. This array of cognitive skills paints a picture of a creature that is far from a simple instinct-driven bird, but a thoughtful, adaptable, and highly intelligent being. Crows also lead incredibly complex social lives. They form long-term pair bonds, raise families, and live in highly structured communal roosts. They recognize individual members of their flock, maintain hierarchies, and even hold funerals for their dead, suggesting an awareness of mortality and strong emotional bonds. Their vocalizations are diverse and nuanced, acting as a sophisticated language to convey information about food, predators, and of course, those specific humans they've learned to either trust or avoid. The implications of these findings are profound. Every time we interact with a crow, or indeed any wild animal, our actions might not just be a fleeting moment. For crows, that interaction, especially if it's negative, could be recorded, remembered, and potentially shared with an entire community, even generations. This places a significant weight on our shoulders, urging us to consider the long-term impact of our presence in their world. What kind of legacy are we leaving, face by face, interaction by interaction? Understanding crows' capacity for facial recognition and long-term memory compels us to approach our coexistence with these birds, and indeed all wildlife, with a deeper sense of respect and mindfulness. They are not merely components of the background scenery, they are sentient beings with a complex internal world, keen observational skills, and a surprising ability to track our individual identities. This realization encourages us to foster more harmonious relationships, built on understanding rather than dismissiveness. So, the next time you see a crow perched on a lamppost, or hear their distinct caw echo through the air, pause for a moment. Consider the possibility that this bird might be more than just a passing shadow. It could be an astute observer, a vigilant record keeper, potentially carrying a memory of you, or someone like you, that stretches back years. This bird, capable of remembering hundreds of human faces, offers us a profound invitation to reevaluate our place in the natural world and the hidden intelligence that thrives all around us.